Hello everyone, my name is Lerato Maupi from the University of Pretoria. I will be giving a little talk about insect proteins together with my supervisor, Prof. Yusuf.
I am Prof. Abdullahi Ahmed Yusuf from the University of Pretoria. Our world is growing with the population as at this month in June 17 hitting the 8.3 billion mark. Those most populated countries are in Asia, China and India, but Africa is also catching up with the population growth. With this growth of population comes an increasing demand for food and meat. And here you can see the demand for food and meat that will increase by 50 and 85% respectively. And with that, it puts a lot of pressure on our protein source, which is your beef, your poultry, and the rest. And there is also a need for us to grow food sustainably, hence the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, which aims to reduce poverty, zero hunger, good health and well-being, as well as responsible consumption. On the continent, also the Agenda 2063 of the African Union also seeks to achieve those aims. Our world is a highly food insecure, so especially looking at the continent, so the green shows food security, amber showed moderate insecurity, while red showed food insecurity. There is a way for us to attain food security, especially looking at proteins. One of it is the use of insect. As it is, out of the 8 billion, only 2 billion people are eating insect. So we have to convince the others to eat insect or insect-based products. So the diversity of insects used as food for feed mostly is in Asia, North America, and Africa as well. So these are the diversity of the insect use. If you look at the map, you see that Africa has a high representation of insects that are being used for food and feed. Southern Africa here, you have insects such as the Maupi worm, the stingbug that are being used, as well as termites that are being used. So why edible insect? This is because you get equal or even more amount of protein and fat and lipids when you grow edible insect as compared to a normal beef or poultry. So you can see that for a cricket, for instance, almost all of it is usable in terms of protein, iron, and calcium, and it also emits very little greenhouse gases. And also the use of edible insect will reduce land use area, global warming, high fat, and also feed conversion efficiency. That means that most of the products edible insect it's usable compared to your beef where the bones and other things are not being used. So we need edible insect also in terms of commercial needs. So by 2030, the global edible insect market will reach about 8 billion. And it's also used for enhanced livelihood because insects are part of what is called mini livestock, which will improve our diet. It will cause a reprieve to access to land tenure as well as rights. And then there will be inclusion of women as well as cash income. Now I hand over to Lerato.
Okay, thank you. In this project, we're trying to search for potential moisture sources for the insects, and we'll be using low-grade potatoes as a moisture source. This is the setup of our climate room with cages and the substrates and potatoes on low-grade potatoes. And this is the life cycle of the T. molita, starting from eggs, larvae, pupa, and adult. This is a research that was done where they used carrot as the moisture source, and they had wheat flour and maize flour and the wheat bran as the substrate that produced small and then heavier larvae of the T. molita. And then this is the protein that it had. It has about 29.25 to 36.24 grams per 100 gram and 27.11 to 36.07 grams of crude fat. In this project, we'll be using 3 substrates: wheat bran, wheat flour, and maize flour, using low-grade potatoes as a moisture source. And then adults of the T. molita will be placed in cages with these 3 substrates, and then potatoes will be added 2 times per week to the cages. And then these cages will be replicated 3 times. And then the larvae of these T. molita adults will be counted, weight and fecundity will also be counted. Nutritional analysis, contaminants, and transcriptomics will also follow. And we found out that in terms of number of larvae, statistically, there is a significant difference between the substrates, with wheat bran producing more of the larvae, followed by wheat flour and then maize flour. But between the generations, there is no significant difference. And then in terms of total weight, we had wheat bran producing heavier mealworms, followed by wheat flour and then maize flour. And then this shows us that these substrates, they have potential of being a medium for growing these insect proteins with low-grade potatoes as a moisture source. And this is beneficial because these substrates are easily accessible and inexpensive. In summary, these substrates shown here, they are able to be media for growing these mealworms with low-grade potatoes. And this benefits us because using low-grade potatoes will be contributing to reduction of food waste and food losses. And these substrates are easily accessible, as I said, and inexpensive. So mealworm rearing is much more easier. We will be getting our mealworms, which are highly nutritive, and then we'll get food from them, and they can be used also as feed. The frass of these mealworms can be used as an organic fertilizer. Not that only, this is beneficial, it has an impact to the environment as this mealworm rearing produces less greenhouse gases, uses less land and less water. All these are in sync with the Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations. And then I'll be doing nutritional analysis and also analyzing the contaminants on the mealworms. Thank you.
Thank you for giving us the opportunity to share our findings, and thanks to Potato SA and the Technology Innovation Agency for funding this project from waste to wealth using low-grade potato.